Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. Going into a great weekend, and today we're going to talk about missing Link Gobots. Well, actually, that's a fallacy. It is called Bricky Robo Concept 4 Salute. It is literally only one figure, and we'll talk about this. There has been discussion, comments on Show Z for going back to like 2021 or 2022, but we'll talk about this. We'll talk about the possibilities of what could happen, but the reality of it is it might only be one figure. It's going to be a very expensive figure, but I'm going to also tell you why I think Cop-Tur is the perfect figure for this. And there's a lot of reasons, but we'll get into talking all this. I mean, I'm just going to say this might be the most clickbaity video I've ever made, but hey, it's worth it. You're gonna enjoy the video coming up. Before we get into what's going on with the new Cop-Tur, I want to talk about the old Cop-Tur. Now, for whatever reason, we haven't seen any modern takes on Cop-Tur. You understand he's one of the six main characters in the cartoon show, and when anyone thinks of Gobots, Cop-Tur is one of the top six because he was heavily featured. Pretty much everybody had him, everybody knew of him. He had lines in the show and all that kind of stuff. Brought over from Machine Robo. Now I remember back in the day, or when I was collecting all this stuff, and I started getting into some of these modern takes, that there's people saying the reason that we didn't see it from the Action Toys when they made theirs with diecast, they're pretty nice, but they were very stylized. That was because they didn't have the Gobots license, they had the Machine Robo license. And Machine Robo, the Crasher figure is actually different. It's the white version. We got a white variant over here in the US also, but, or maybe it was not in the US, but somehow there's a lot of them around here. But that makes sense why they didn't really want to mess with Crasher, because they couldn't make the correct color scheme, and the US market is the biggest market even for these transforming toys when it comes to Gobots, I believe. But it doesn't make any sense with Cop-Tur. With the Cop-Tur, would have been a very popular character. I don't know of a Cop-Tur that was made for the Action Toys Machine Robo line, or this most recent one that they had was Mega Beast or something like that, whatever they were calling that one, that is like model kits. But Cop-Tur is very popular. Now, if you're looking for Cop-Tur items, there are different variations out there, but basically variations of the vintage mold. And that's cool, it's fun, but nothing modern. Like, there's really no modern update take that I have found. Now, the other reason when I make these kind of videos, I look, and I'm not saying I just looked for 5 or 10 minutes today. I've been looking for the past couple of years out of curiosity. I found this action puppet. I actually have all of these already, but this seems to be the hardest one to find. I don't know why the Cop-Tur is the hardest one to find, but it does seem to be. You know, these collapse, and then when you take the tension, when you let go of the button, you put the tension back on it, and it pops back up. I always thought these were like pop-up ones, not action puppets, but whatever they call it. Because of the nature of the transformation of the vintage one, you have the problem of lean back. You know, I would have actually put in the song, but I've had a couple of slaps on the wrist lately for copyright. Wednesday's video, I was trying to make a really great intro, and I had to cut the crud out of it to get it past the bots. But anyhow, this is a problem because of the transformation. But I will also say this. The vintage Cop-Tur figure could have been a great figure. I mean, it's not a bad figure. He's got really good articulation. He's got butterfly joints because of the transformation. And the knees only work one way, the reverse of how a knee should work. They could have engineered it to where the knee would work both ways. The other thing is that the legs, they go backwards instead of forward, so we can't make a forward stance. But it could have easily been done back in the day had they chose to do this. There's a few things they would have had to do, but they would have had to add extra part here and there, would have increased the price of a $2 toy. I understand all of that, but it could have been a great toy. Instead, it was okay toy that most vintage ones like to lean back. Let's get into concept for Salute. Bricky Robo, available for pre-order at Shozi for $1 down. And I have pre-ordered this. And then there's a second one. So we're going to look at all that here in a little bit. But pricing, let's save that for the end. Because I want to be positive, right? Yeah, stay positive for now. Look at the pose this guy has. You can't do this with your vintage one. He doesn't bend his elbows. This one bends its elbows. You have the butterfly joint, but now you also have to where the shoulders will go out probably to, not quite to a 90, but way more than your vintage one would do. And you're going to get forward and back. You can already see the articulation in the hips and all of that stuff. But you know what? Instead of just, well, evaluating one picture, let's see what it can do with all of this. Pretty nice articulation. He's using his helicopter propellers to hold on to and fly away. He does come with a second set of claws that are swappable. You can pop and swap those claws and all of this great stuff. But being able to see his hips and his legs go forward, his knees move, he has thigh articulation and all of that going on is really a lot of fun in a vintage style figure that we have yet to see do this. I don't know if his eyes light up, if there's going to be batteries in there, or if that's just something done with the artwork. It's interesting too that they include Turbo in this, because out of every figure in the vintage Gobots line, not so much Machine Robo, but vintage Gobots, I would have picked Cop-Tur as one to improve the design of, because it already had so much going for it that it just needed that little bit of oomph over the edge, which amounts to probably an additional 27 parts, but it's a nice little oomph over the edge to make it do what it does. Now you see the head turn. With the vintage ones, the head does not turn, it is static. So there's so much that can be done with this. Same thing with Turbo. Turbo's an excellent, amazing figure. This is just a vintage one that they're using, but it's an amazing figure, but could be so much more if it gets this kind of missing link treatment we're getting, and it literally is the vintage 3.75 inch scale. The other thing about this is that it is going to be pricey, over $100. We're going to get to pricing, but you get all the brand new vac metal. That's one of the things that even myself, who have, I probably have 5 or 6 of these. By the way, check out his waist swivel. I have probably 5 or 6 of the vintage ones. Only 3 complete, because that little rear rotor is kind of hard to get. But the chrome, none of them look this good. Nowhere near this good. And I would say mine are some of the best. Like, I have taken my 3 best I've come across, and they're in my collection. 1 alt mode, 1 bot mode, and then an extra in alt mode. And with that, none of them look this good. And I probably have 5 of those top propellers. I got confused on what propeller went with what Gobot, but that's a whole different story for another day. This brand new chrome, there's just nothing that can beat fresh, crispy, brand new chrome when you're looking at your vintage collection. So I'm going to make a room on my vintage shelf for this guy. Here's the box, the artwork. As you can see, it does look like the one I was showing you earlier, but much different. And it's cartoony instead of the actual item. But it's got a similar flair look to it, kind of compared to the vintage one, but yet modern, but yet fun. But what's that weird thing he's holding? That appears to be the propellers folded up. I don't know what the extra thing is that they include in the more expensive one. We'll get to that. Here's another picture of him next to just some Gobots. So it's just like, hey, here's my Gobot shelf. He'll fit in fine with your vintage Gobots. That's what this picture's showing, and he'll be much more highly articulated than the rest. Or maybe they're going to do these two also. I don't know. Here's an old prototype. We're talking this thing's been in the works for at least 3 years. And by the way, the average transforming robot, whether it's Transformers, Gobots, it generally has at least an 18-month to 3-year, 7-year if you're Fans Toys, timeline for being developed. So a development timeline until you actually get it produced and out to people. So that is also a thing. All right, so here is Shozi's. Now there are 2, but since none of the pre-orders have prices with them $1 down, 73-cent shipping cost. That's the tariff surcharge, by the way. The 73-cent tariff surcharge. Super 7 charges 8%, by the way. I don't know what the bonus is. I don't know. I don't know. With bonus is something I can't quite ascertain what the bonus is, but it'll include main figure, metal plated rotor blade sword, sticker sheet. So I'm not sure what the rotor blade sword, if it actually folds up, or they're two different accessories. So maybe they are two different accessories. Sticker sheet, so you will have to sticker it yourself. 4 pairs of interchangeable claws, so 2 pairs are vintage style. So 4 pairs. Is that really 8 claws? I first thought it was 2 pairs, 4 claws. But transparent protector case, robot display mode stand, which we don't really see the stand so much. Late November of 2025 is when this is expected. So I guess going to the standard one, you don't get the rotor blade sword, so that does not fold up then, because I was curious about that. And 2 pairs of interchangeable claws, meaning that you get more claws with the more expensive one and the sword. And this is 3.35 inches tall. Okay, so the standard one over at TF Source is $117. The one with the bonus parts is $150. So I don't really know that it's that important to get the bonus parts. I did pre-order one of each, not understanding. Just right away, my excitement did get to me. I am excited for this, by the way. The price, I didn't know the price because it's $1 down. Hopefully, Shozi has always gotten quite a bit cheaper than TF Source for most of this stuff, especially the third party. Now, the official, like Takara, the price is like only like $5 cheaper, but generally Fans Toys was most of those releases are still 30 plus cheaper. Something like this, I imagine $30 cheaper myself. So instead of 116, maybe 86. I hope. I don't know, but I'm definitely getting one, if not both versions, to check out, and I would support it going forward. The 150 for the deluxe one, I don't know how well that's going to sell at 150. Hopefully it's like 110 or something at Shozi store. But again, I don't know. I won't know till it comes in what the price is. But I did pre-order it because Shozi's going to sell out way before TF Source because they're going to have the lowest price. And again, TH and the Support Your Reviewer code, I don't ask people to join a Patreon, spend $5, $10 a month. Patreon, literally for free. Type in TH and support the reviewer, and then go over there and save yourself $30 every time you order something, because that's just the normal price. Is cheaper. But I'm going to get this. The last topic to end this out, this is the picture I wanted to use, but I did not want this resolution, sorry, but how many figures are they going to make? Is it just going to be Cop-Tur, because Cop-Tur's been neglected, and he's not in any of the modern eras? Or will they do them all? Probably not all. Will they do 6? You know, I kind of think they would do the main 6. Main 6 being Cycle, Leader 1, Crasher, Scooter, Turbo. If they just gave us Cycle, the Cop-Tur, and a Turbo, I think it would be a worthwhile experience to go through. If they gave us 6, it would be great. If they gave us 10, it would still be successful. The thing about Gobots, and it's always about Gobots, if it goes past 10, it doesn't seem to succeed. I don't know why. And they got to figure out the affordability factor and keep these things affordable and quality, and they could go to 20, 30, 50. If they could get these things in like the $30 range, the sky's the limit. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Are you going to be in on this for like $100 to $150? Are you looking forward to a Cop-Tur, or do you say that's too vintage, too retro? I'm pure masterpiece. Cancel this for me. Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.